In 1929, a man named Edwin Hubble was doing his job. He was not trying to make history. He was not trying to change anything. He was just looking through a telescope. And then he saw something. Something that stopped him cold. Something that contradicted everything science believed about the universe. He discovered that the universe was expanding. Not slowly, not occasionally, constantly, actively, right now. The entire scientific community was stunned. This was brand new information. This was unexpected. This changed everything. But let us actually sit with what that means. Right now, this exact second, the nearest galaxy to ours is 2.5 million light-years away. And it is getting further every single second. Not because it is moving through space like a rocket, because space itself is stretching, like a rubber band being pulled from both ends. Every single point in the universe moving away from every other point simultaneously, with no center and no edge. Now, hold that image, a universe actively expanding right now as you watch this, and then listen to what the Qur'an said in the year 610, 1300 years before Hubble discovered it. Chapter 51, verse 47. And the heaven, we constructed it with strength, and indeed, we are expanding it. Not past tense, not we expanded it, done, finished, complete. Present continuous, we are expanding it, right now, actively, ongoing. Allah described an actively expanding universe 1400 years before science knew where to look. Science did not teach the Quran this. Science finally caught up to what the Quran already said. If this made you think, subscribe to Unseen Constant, the force nobody can explain. Here's where it gets specific, and specific is where the real conversation starts. When scientists measure the expansion of the universe, they use something called redshift. As galaxies move away from us, light stretches. Wavelengths get longer. They shift toward the red end of the spectrum. The faster something moves away, the more red it appears. This is how we confirm the universe is expanding. Hard data, real numbers, verified repeatedly. Now here's where the part that quietly disturbs cosmologists. The expansion is not slowing down. Common sense should be. Gravity should be pulling everything back together. Like a ball thrown in the air, it slows, stops, falls back. The universe is not doing that. It is expanding faster than it should be, accelerating. Something is pushing it. Something with more energy than every single piece of matter in the observable universe combined. Scientists gave it a name because they needed to call it something. They called it dark energy. So what is dark energy? Honest answer? Nobody in science knows. They can measure its effects. They cannot find it, cannot isolate it, cannot explain it. It is the single largest component of everything that exists, and science has absolutely no explanation for it. The Quran calls it simply the power by which the heavens are being expanded. Allah described this power 1400 years ago. Science is still trying to figure out what it is. The invisible majority. 95%. Let that number land. Everything humanity has ever seen or photographed in space, every star, every planet, every galaxy ever captured by Hubble, that's only 5% of the universe. The other 95%, invisible. Scientists call it dark matter and dark energy. They can't see it. They can't touch it. They've never directly detected it with any instrument ever built. And yet, without it, the entire universe collapses instantly. You live in a universe where the majority of what Allah created is completely invisible to human senses. Not far away in some distant galaxy, not hidden behind something. Here, right now, around you, in this room, undetectable. The Qur'an has a word it returns to over and over. Al-Ghaib, the unseen. Not things that are merely mysterious, not things that are simply far away, things that are completely real, completely present, and completely beyond what human senses can ever perceive. Allah told us 1400 years ago that there is a reality beyond what we can see. Science spent 300 years building the most advanced instruments in human history to finally confirm that this invisible reality actually exists. The Quran named it centuries before science knew where to look. Allah says in the Quran, "A day with your Lord is like 1,000 years of what you count." For centuries, people read that verse and assumed it was symbolic, poetic language, spiritual metaphor. But then, Einstein came along. In 1905, Einstein proved something that changed physics forever. Time is not a constant. It moves at different rates depending on your speed and how close you are to a massive object. This is not just theory. This is engineering, real world, proven, tested every single day. So when Allah says, "A day with your Lord equals 1,000 years of what you count," that's not metaphor. That's a precise description of how time actually behaves in different regions of existence. Einstein discovered time dilation in 1905. Allah described it in 610. The barrier. There's a boundary around every black hole called the event horizon. Cross it and nothing returns. Not matter, not light, not a single piece of information. At the event horizon, time as measured from outside stops completely. An observer watching someone fall into a black hole would never see them cross it. They would watch them slow down, freeze, and remain there forever from an outside perspective. But the person crossing it experiences it in seconds. Two people, same event, completely different experiences of reality. This is confirmed, measured, documented physics. Now, Allah describes a barrier in the Quran between this life and what comes after. Al-Barzakh, a partition between two realities that can never mix. Two existences happening simultaneously, neither able to cross into the other. Scientists describe the event horizon as a boundary where the rules of our universe completely break down, where time stops functioning as we know it, where something exists on the other side that nothing from our side can ever reach. Allah told us about Al-Barzakh 1400 years ago. Physics is only now beginning to understand what a barrier between two realities actually looks like. The Quran is not a science textbook. Allah did not reveal it to teach us physics or mathematics. He revealed it as guidance for all of humanity. But embedded within that guidance are descriptions of the universe so precise, so specific, that science keeps arriving at the same conclusion centuries later from a complete